All right, guys, so this is part two. We were talking about natural composting, how to do it. Oftentimes, if you're going to use hay, a lot of times that hay is treated with grazon. Grazon is an herbicide, okay? And this grass, it depends on what kind of hay you get. I went last year and bought some at a box store and started using the hay in the garden. And I noticed after a few waterings, the plants started shriveling, turning yellow, and really started struggling. I did some research on it and found a product that a lot of the hay in America is treated with is called grazon. It's an herbicide. So if you use that in your garden, it's not good for the plants and you're going to have a struggle with your garden all year long. So, and that's true for if you're buying manures. Grazon is used probably, they say 70 to 90% of the hay has grazon. So if you don't know what those cows are eating. If they're eating hay that's been treated with grazon, that grazon stays through the digestive tract into the manure, and you're going to put that manure in your garden. Your plants are going to struggle. So if you're still using manure, what I would do is probably soak it in water, a 5-gallon bucket, put that manure in there and soak it in water for 3 days. Rinse it out and then use the manure after it's dried out. Don't just use it right out of the bag because you don't know if that's got herbicide. If those cows have been eating hay that's been treated with grazon, your garden's going to struggle. So, we all know green and browns make compost. So I was thinking, what can we use for a brown that isn't hay? Okay. Um, Obviously, I live in a forest. So there are leaves all over the place, and leaf mold is really good for your soil. So I just collected a bunch of leaves, got the leaf blower out, made a big pile, mulched them up. I've got a Toro 22-inch mulcher. So I set that on level 2, mulched a huge pile of leaves, and then grass clippings. Just collect them in the bag. Went through, mowed the lawn. So I got 2 full barrels of mulch compressed leaf containing leaf mold and 2 full barrels of grass clippings. Here, I'll give you a look. Okay, so here are the compost bins that I have. The one over here on the left, that's basically vermacite at this point. It's got a ton of earthworms. It's been eating. I put everything in there. It's not just plants, not just veggies, not just table scraps. You'll find chicken bones in there. You'll find rib bones in there. Leftover casseroles are in there. I let the worms eat. And those worms have been going to town for a couple years. Over here is my starter bin, okay? So this is where I put, here, I did this last night. This is the mulch leaves. If you don't have access, stand by. If you don't have access to a big lawn, or anything like that, you can go out to the forest with a couple of trash bags, get you some contractor bags, go out to the forest, get a big pile of leaves, throw them in the car, bring them back home, mulch them up in your lawnmower. You'll get the same thing. See that? It's already mulched up. It's going to help break down into soil. And then grass clippings. If you don't have access to a lot of grass, maybe you live in a townhouse with a small yard, you could let that lawn grow and weed whack it to get more grass. Or, just contact a local lawn service Ask them if you can have some of their grass clippings. Tell them you're doing some composting. They'll be happy to give you some. They've got more than enough. And you can also get leaves that way too. So lawn service are a great resource, and they don't charge anything. You just got to go there and pick it up. Okay, so I've got this here from the yard. What we're going to do is get the pitchfork. There's the Toro bag, so you just put this on the back of your lawnmower and use it. Easy way of collecting leaves and stuff like that. So we're going to start off with a layer of brown. Okay, we're going to layer this stuff. Just get it in there. Not a big deal. Throw it in. You don't want to use too much grass, because if your grass gets all clumpy, it'll mat down and it could turn to fungus. Okay, it won't process. So get you a good layer of leaves. Brown first, down on the ground. Okay, like so. Again, some of these leaves have been at the bottom of the forest floor for a long time. It's got leaf mold, which is very good for the soil. Then you're going to get some of your grass. Okay, just sprinkle it on. Don't get too clumpy with it. Sprinkle it in there. Okay. Nice even layer. Cover the brown. It's also called hot composting. Okay. Shake it out as you're putting it in. Don't want to get too clumpy. Okay, so at the end of the first layer, I'm going to take some of the compost There's some of the compost I just got done from mid-July. So you can see it's turned to soil. I'm just going to put a thin layer on that. See how airy and light that is? Full of organic material. Garden loves that. Just a thin layer right on there. Okay. All right. Go back to brown. Same thing. Just do it all over again. If you see plastic, you can pick that as you're spreading down. I have kids, so there's some wrappers in the lawn. I try to keep an eye out for that. And then green. Not too much, you don't just dump it in there, shake it out. Okay. Shake it out. clump or two, you can just kind of like so. Okay. Got a little too ambitious with that scoop. Okay. Final scoop. Just want to get all that brown covered. You don't want too much. And then we're going to get some of that old compost. And just shake it in there. Just so you know what we're dealing with. Here's what the compost will look like when you're done. Okay, nice airy soil. No chemicals, fresh soil. You can mix that with topsoil that you get from the store, or vermacite. Okay, so now I'm gonna do plastic. Now I'm gonna do brown, green, little compost, brown, green, little compost. You can wet it down and that'll jumpstart the breakdown. So, you know, what you want to do, give that about a week when you're done to settle. Wet it down a little bit, give it a week. Start flipping it every 3-4 days. And when I say flipping it, just get in there with a, you know, get in there with your hoe, or if you got a pitchfork, I use that and this. It's great for just mixing it, you know, getting in the pile, flip it with your pitchfork, you know, every 3-4 days. You know, you should be done in about a month. You know, you'll have some good organic compost. Your garden will love it. Okay, speaking of gardens, let's go check out the fall garden. All right, so here we go. These are, so you got some cabbage here, some Italian parsley. These are beans. I kind of did the David the Good style of just throwing a bunch of beans down. They're store-bought. So there's pintos, kidney, black beans, all up in there. Artichoke in the back. Here's my pumpkin plant. All this is doing good. I'm going to pull the beans and get some saplings in there for the fall. One sec, we'll check out the tomatoes. So here are the tomatoes. Right here, you got some vine ripen up front. Got a bunch of clusters growing, waiting for those to ripen. And we got some better boys, I guess they are, Bush's better boys in the back. So, doing very well, still healthy. Here's the asparagus bed, the DIY asparagus bed in the baby pool. All that's doing well for the first year. So, these are perennial, so they come back every year. The first year, they're not going to fruit. So next year, we'll get some asparagus out of this. But it's doing good. I ended up moving the container garden from the patio to a place where I can get some more some more sun. Got a bunch of lemons over here. This is Meyer lemons down here. So this is lemon bush is doing really well. And move the patio garden up here. So got some cilantro right here, mammoth sized basil. Here are some seedlings for the fall. Chocolate douglas. These are Buena Mulata. These are Tabasco. Some jalapenos right here. Back there, you can see the ghost peppers. Call that ghost corner. There's like 5 plants over there full of ghost. Gingers in the middle. Bell peppers here. Peach reapers. Got a bunch of them. And the reaper plant. Got a bunch that need to ripen. Some are ripening. So, I just harvested some yesterday, so I already got my first batch of hot sauce. I did 3 quarts. So I did the fermentation in July for 2.5 months. So was able to get that done. We did our first 3 quarts of wild watermelon sauce. Came out really good. And we're just waiting for these. We'll get another harvest out of them. I'm probably going to do a blueberry sauce, and then I'll have a bunch of super hot pepper flake. I want to do some extract this year. So the northern garden, rocket tomatoes still doing good, still producing. I took down the cucumbers. So we got some eggplant here, right here, tomato, another eggplant. Back here we got some good Mother Nature beans growing along the back. Got some rhubarb planted in there. More good Mother Nature. Carrots under that board. Behind there is celery and broccoli starting to sprout. I don't know if you can see those, but sprouting up. So, and then we got some cabbage back there too, just starting to sprout. And you can see the rhubarb. Oh, I'm sorry, Swiss chard. So that's the update from the Reed homestead. Little DIY compost. Did want to thank some of the commenters for looking out on the chanterelle mushroom video. Good looking out, guys. NC SG Rocker, I appreciate you, man. Wang, all right, bro. Thank you very much. You ended up being right. I had the information from North Carolina already. So, but good looking out, guys. I really appreciate that. Until the next time, from the Reed Homestead, God bless. Have a great day.